What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, and we're in pre-market right now, folks. We haven't even started the trading day. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to probably start doing this every day, folks. I'm going to do a pre-market video, but I'm not going to release that pre-market video until the end of the day. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to look at pre-market, and then sometime during the pre-market, or not the pre-market, but sometime during the regular trading day, I'm going to pick up where I left off and talk about kind of how it reacted out of my zones and these different types of things. So, folks, pre-market low. Now, again, we've got about an hour until we get going, until we open up the market. I got pre-market high at 561.65. I got pre-market low at 559.84. We got close to $2 worth of action. $2 worth of action in pre-market is plenty, folks. I mean, if we can get $2 during the regular trading day, that is absolutely incredible. If we can use that entire range, we never know what's going to happen. But $2 worth of range, that is plenty. Remember, folks, we're looking for three things. We're looking for volume. We have to have decent volume to move the market. We're looking for volatility. We have to have volatility to make sure that we make money on our contracts. And we have to have range. So we have to have, again, we have to have high to low. If we're dealing with anything under $1, generally speaking, in pre-market, I don't like to trade that. So again, we've got close to $2 in pre-market that we will be working with. Now, let's go ahead and look at these some of these other zones that are outside of the pre-market range. So I'm going to do that by looking at the 30-minute zones. Okay, so again, we got pre-market high, we've got pre-market low. Now, directly to the left, if we look over to the left, right in here, into this area right over here, this is a supply zone, and this is a supply zone from Friday. So we were looking for this zone yesterday, and we hit it, and we just kind of came down. So we've got this supply zone over here left over from Friday. We got a little bit higher on Thursday, so we got a high over here. But anyway, these double tops on the 30 minutes, these are the areas that I am looking to reject out of and take it in the opposite direction. So in other words, if we come get this level, 562.71, it may go back to the downside. And I say may because we never know what's going to happen. But it happened there before, so we're going to make at least the short-term assumption that it could happen again. And again, we don't know what's going to happen. So we've got the supply zone sitting here. Now, from a demand zone standpoint, and again, you can see these zones right in here. We've got this 30-minute zone right here, 558.59. So right here, again, we saw this leftover from Friday. It hit this area, and then it ran back up. So again, folks, the higher the time frame, the stronger the level. So, and generally, I use 30-minute zones. Every now and again, I'll use a 4-hour zone to kind of catch that overall trend. Maybe I've got a cup and handle going on, something like that. But anyway, this level right here. Now, below that, I'm looking for 551.55. I'm sorry, 555.51. Over here again, we rejected off this level on Thursday, and it ran back up. Now, this was late in the day on Thursday. And let me see a gap. Do we still have a gap down there? Yeah, we do. We still have a gap down here where we closed on Thursday, 556.24, roughly somewhere right around in there, folks. Now, if we keep on going, I mean, there's no telling where this thing drops. But let's do this here real quick. This is the 30-minute volume profile. So this tells me on a higher time frame where the volume has been traded. So you can see this extremely thin volume down below this level right here, and then it picks back up. You see this little volume node right here. So that's why we like using the volume profile, because it tells us where the volume has been traded on a higher time frame. Now, if we look at the volume profile from over the last couple of days, so this actually takes yesterday and today into account. Okay, so yesterday from pre-market all the way to where we're trading right now, this is where the POC is. So we've got 560.58. That's where the most of the volume has been traded at this specific price level. So 560.68. Now you can see all of this thin volume. And again, this is just yesterday's volume and today so far. So it's entirely possible, again, over the last 2 days, that we hit this level and it goes up and we get a really, really nice run. Perhaps maybe into this supply zone up top. And again, we never know what's going to happen, but we like to use these higher time frames because they tell us it's the same story but a different perspective. And again, now if we look at it from a 1 minute standpoint, you can see it's really craggly this morning. Volume is obviously it's not too great. From a catalyst standpoint, we've got a couple of different things going on today. And again, you can see this thin volume up here, and this is based on, so we got 560.21. Let's see what it looks like over here. 560.21. So that's going to be a little bit lower. It's going to be down here, but you still have all this volume yesterday. Now, we have a couple of things going on today. The biggest is going to be at 10 o'clock this morning. We have consumer confidence that comes out at 10 o'clock today. That is a red folder event. Now, if you find yourself on the good side of a trade, wonderful. But if you're on the wrong side of a trade, you can really hurt your position. Now, I do believe we have a home index coming out also at 9:30. It rarely, if ever, really moves the market. But again, consumer confidence coming out at 10 o'clock. This morning. So that's a little pre-market. This is what we're looking for. If it does this, then we expect it to do this. And again, look for it to reject off of some of these different levels. Again, pre-market high, pre-market low, and then we've got these levels: supply zone up top, demand zone down low. But just play what is in front of you, folks. Play what's in front of you. Again, if you commit to taking your plays out of major demand zones down low and major supply zones and waiting for a cross to the upside or cross to the downside, guess what? Number one, you're going to take fewer trades. Number two, you're going to be able to predefine that risk before you ever enter the trade. And your entries are going to be so much better. And again, you're going to take fewer trades. The purpose is not to take a whole bunch of trades. The purpose is to take the best trades, and when your edge presents itself, you're almost compelled to put on that trade, folks. But anyway, we're going to come back at some point during the day. Probably going to be mid to late afternoon where we pick this back up. But until then, we will see you guys in the market. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Paul, the 920 Trader, and we are back. We are trading in real time right now. It is about 22 minutes until close. So we are deeply into the power hour. And before I really talk about the plays today, let's go over to power hour right now, because this is the madness that we are seeing right now. You can see this POC sitting up here at, where do we have it? About 561.36. But look at this bad price action for the last, well, it's been about 2 hours. So 1334, and we're literally going on or a little over 2 hours from just horrible, theta crushing, soul crushing, horrible price action in through this area. And again, folks, this is about as bad as you will see it over a 2 hour period. Just really bad. But nevertheless, let's talk about what's going on today. So when we were on first thing this morning, we had pre-market low. Again, that was around 7:30, 8:30 or so Eastern time. So our pre-market low was around here somewhere. Now, pre-market, we were able to push through just a little bit down to 558.39. Now, remember, we had that 558.58. We had that as a demand zone. And let me show you that again from last Thursday here at this level. Again, folks, this is a 30-minute zone. Again, we get our levels from 30-minute double tops, 30-minute double bottoms. When you have a 30-minute double bottom like this is a demand zone. This is essentially the market saying, okay, at this level right here, there's a demand, so we're going to push this thing on up. And again, look at what happened on Thursday. And again, we touched that level early today. We came out of this demand zone back to the upside. I took a fishtail play. Tried to push it up to pre-market high, closed out the trade, got back in on the double cross here, and then rode through a little bit of garbage up here and then pushed through pre-market high and took it off the table. Stepped away for a couple of hours, but look at what we did based on pre-market high. We rejected, came down, rejected, nice couple of candles below that pre-market, and then just ran down VWAP, a nice little VWAP play. We bounced around, had some really nice plays in here. I was gone for about an hour and a half, so I wasn't at my computer. Now this run up, was I back for that? Pretty close around here. I think I got back right around in here. But at any rate, that these plays were good enough for me. Now, if there's a setup in the next 10 minutes or so, I will take the setup back to, if there is a setup, I will at least consider it. But this is how I like to play. I like to play that first hour and a half, 2 hours, and then be done for the day. Unfortunately, I was only able to play about the first hour and a half, and I had to leave. I had a few errands to run. But look at it just from the levels that we set this morning, folks, the levels and how it reacted or reacted right out of this, again, pre-market low, and we had this beautiful demand zone. And then we got up to this pre-market high, and we used this pre-market high like a supply zone. So again, demand low, supply high, came down, rejected. And every time we've been at that level, it's just kind of bounced around at that level. Again, nice play to the upside a couple of different times. Let's look at that 5 minute. This is what the 5 minute looks like. So 5 minute up, 5 minute down, 5 minute up, and then just the worst possible price action that you can imagine is going on right now and has been going on for the last 2 hours. You can look at these 30-minute candles right here and realize that this price action is just about as bad as you're going to get. Now, we do have NVDA earnings coming out tomorrow, so they could be just parking some money here. That was a suggestion of one of our members. Maybe, I don't know, could be possibly. I know NVIDIA was running pretty good today, but anyway, that's what it looks like on the 30-minute. Back to that 1 minute. Again, folks, this is about as ugly as you will see it. This is it's just bad. It's just not good price action. And you know what? The reality is the reality. So we play what is in front of us. When we have price action that's going on like this for 2 hours, leave it alone, folks. Sit on your hands. Don't put on a trade. There's absolutely no reason, in my opinion, to put on a trade when you have price action for 2 hours that's like this. And again, if something happens in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the day, I'll at least consider putting on a trade. I don't know that I will. We would really have to bust an area. Now, let me show you one area that I'm looking at. It's 562.30. So you see this thin volume up above, and it's the same thing from yesterday. The level that I was trying to get above, 562.30. If we were to somehow able to get past that level, it doesn't have a whole lot of resistance, not a whole lot of positions being defended. But again, we've been in this area the vast majority of the day, and it's just been slow moving. Again, for the last 2 hours. The first couple of plays were good plays, really, really nice plays. And again, we're just bouncing, we're dancing right on the POC right now. I have no earthly idea what to expect. These candles, they're not the best looking candles today. Normally we get, a couple of plays that are, will run up $1 or $1.50, and there's really nothing that's holding it down or holding it up one way or another. But yeah, it's. I'd say overall there was some really, really nice price action, very well defined. Again, this rejection of the pre-market low, coming out of this demand zone, and then taking it up and hitting the pre-market high. Again, a very nice move. That's $3 worth of movement in that. Well, for me, 2 plays. If you hung on through this, it was 1 play. Again, if you look at like a 5-minute chart, came out of that demand zone and rode that 5-minute chart up with really no heartburn. I mean, we stayed above VWAP. I don't remember specifically where POC was at this time, but probably moving along with price action. But anyway, that's how she played out today. And again, overall, it was a good day. It was a good day today. So for a lot of people. Now, some people, I mean, you get trapped in positions. That happens, particularly if you are trading through this nonsense. You don't know when it's going to be nonsense and when it's not going to be. So that's why I'm a big proponent in trading that first hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of the day, and then coming back and see if there's something available in power hour, maybe the last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes of the day. That's where you typically get really, really nice moves at the very end. And again, this could be happening right now as we are seeing it live. But that's how she's doing it. That's how we're doing it today, folks. So if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day, sometimes on the weekend. Now, if you are interested in live daily trading, so every single day, folks, this is where the rubber meets the road. Every single day, we're talking about all of these plays. Now, I like this play, folks, back to the upside. If we can breach this 65, we're getting pretty late in the day. If we breach 65, let's say, I don't know. I mean, run it on up. And again, this has been probably the best looking candle in the last couple of hours that we're printing right now. and we just finished the print on that just below that level. See if we can push up. But again, if you're interested in live daily trading, in learning to trade, folks, that's what live daily trading is all about. It's talking about all of these different setups. And again, push through this level, push through pre-market high, folks. Let's see if we can make this thing go. If you're interested in that, head on over to Trading Decoded. The link for that is down below. That's our live trading Discord. Again, Trading Decoded. We're going to give you that first week for free. You're going to figure it out inside that first week, whether it is for you or not. If it's for you, great. If it's not, hey, that's not a problem. No harm, no foul. But again, first week for free, Trading Decoded. If you are interested in the 920 crossover strategy, head on over to 920trading.com. The entire strategy is there for the entire world to see at no additional cost to you, folks, other than a little bit of your time. So again, the entire strategy is there for you to see. Nuances, you have to pick those up over time, but the entire strategy is there for the world to see. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on some super secret strategy that, quite frankly, has been around for a long time, and it's just repackaged is what it is, folks. It's repackaged. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're kind of waiting on these in, let's see if we can get that push through this area, 561.65 pre-market high. Just keeps on getting rejected off that same level, folks. So we have a kind of a promising candle, and it runs into that brick wall. But anyway, folks, that's how we did it. So thank you all for spending a little bit of your most precious commodity, which is your time, with us today. We greatly appreciate that very much. We appreciate you. We hope everybody had a great day today, but again, folks, we hope you followed your process. The beauty is in the process, folks. Whether it's a winning trade or a losing trade, you need to know what your probabilities are. And the only way you're going to know what your probabilities are is if you have a process. So please have a process. If you don't, again, you can find that at 920trading.com. The entire strategy, the entire process is there for you. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We're going to do this again tomorrow. So have a great rest of the day, folks, and we will see you in the markets.